Well, Emily Carr is a national treasure. Her artwork hangs in our most prestigious galleries. It appears in university textbooks and says so much about our identity as Canadians. But overseas, most people have never even heard of Emily Carr. But that may be about to change, and Eli Glasner is here to explain why. So Emily Carr is being discovered?
She is going to be hanging in London's Dulwich Picture Gallery. This is one of Britain's most prestigious galleries. She's going to be next to Rembrandt's and Rubens, so fine company indeed. And here's one of the reasons why. The attention on Canadian artists began where in 2011 they had a very popular Group of Seven show, Group of Seven and Tom Thompson. And this show at the same gallery, the Dulwich Picture Gallery, was the second highest attended show in the gallery's history. So this started a conversation. We need more Canadian art. And immediately people said, where's Emily Carr? If you're going to talk about artists from that time period of, Canadiana, you need to talk about Emily. And so they started talking about creating a new show. And so let's now take a look at that new show that opens today in Britain. And so what you're going to have in this show, which is called From Forest to the Sea, Emily Carr in British Columbia, really how she was inspired by Aboriginal color, the way she uses light, a kind of a modernist influence, how she's inspired by the land, living in BC, and it takes you through her career kind of year by year. Now, we also had a chance to go to the AGO and see how this show was prepared as they were taking some of their own paintings and getting them ready to go across the Atlantic. There is Ms. Carr herself. She lived in BC, but she actually spent some time studying in Britain. So it's very fitting that these paintings are, in a way, kind of going back to London. But there you are at the AGO where they were, imagine carefully packing these paintings to put them in a box and send them off to the gallery in London. We had a chance to talk to the AGO's CEO and director, Matthew Teitelbaum, talking about what he hopes this show does and how it could bring Emily Carr back to Canada in a new light. Take a look.
Inherent in the relationship, and something that really interests us, is the idea that a great British scholar, a great British institution, is bringing their own point of view to this work. And the idea that we can create a platform where different voices interpret the work of one of our great artists is also deeply meaningful.
So it sounds like everyone's expecting this Emily Carr exhibit to go over rather well.
I think they have high expectations, and I think it could actually give a little boost to her and the estate back home. But over 1 million people will be exposed to her art when this show opens, beginning today. And the nice thing is, we happen to know from the success of that Group of Seven show, they love shows about nature. They have a soft spot for these artists that interpret their surroundings, the land around them, and that's what Carr does so well. We also had a chance to talk to Ian Desjardins. He's the director of the Dulwich Picture Gallery, and here he is talking about how he thinks, the British visitors to the show are going to respond. Take a look.
She just loved sitting in the forest and channeling the green and the air and the winds and all of those things. And she loved living in a little caravan trailer. It was our idea of heaven. The British will respond to that, but I think they'll also recognize elements of other art in her work. The British love the post-impressionism, and they'll see elements of Van Gogh.
There you go. Wonderful treat for British art fans opening today.
All right, Eli, thanks for this.
My pleasure.